Okay, so by this point, you should have learned that combustion reactions occur when a fuel reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. And specifically in this class, we'll really focus on reactions with hydrocarbons or those molecules containing hydrogen and carbon. Okay. So how you'll identify combustion reactions is you should see some sort of hydrocarbon, so a molecule with carbon and hydrogen, always reacting with oxygen, and then you'll have the same two products every single time. And those two products are always going to be carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so now we're going to do two practice problems where we write out the combustion reactions for these hydrocarbons. So the first one is C6H6, and if it's combusting or if it's burning, it's going to react with oxygen, or O2, and we're going to get the same two products every time. So we'll get CO2 and H2O. So now our next step is to balance. And I just start at the carbon. So there's 6 carbons on the left side. So I'm going to put a 6 on the right side. Then I'm going to move on to the hydrogens. There are 6 hydrogens on the left side. So now I need to add a 3, so 3 times 2 equals 6 on the right side. And then your last step is always going to be oxygen last. So I'm going to add up all the oxygens on the right side. So I have 6 times 2, which is 12, plus 3, which is 15. So now what coefficient can go right here that multiplied by 2 equals 15? And we'll see it's 7.5. So technically we have the correct ratio of coefficients. However, you cannot have 7.5 as a coefficient. So the final step is just going to be doubling the coefficients. So I'm going to erase my originals, and now I'm just going to double it. So if there's no coefficient written, the number 2 is implied. Then I'm going to have 15, 12, and 6. So now we should have the correct ratio, and I'm just going to go through and make sure I'm still balanced. So 2 times 6 is 12, and we have 12 carbons. And then for hydrogen, 2 times 6 is 12, 6 times 2 is 12. And then 15 times 2 is 30, and then I have 12 times 2, 24, plus 6, which is 30. Okay, now let's do the second one. This time we have CH3OH. Okay. This is methanol, and we're going to combust it, so we're going to add O2. And even though this one has an oxygen in this starting formula, it's still going to make carbon dioxide and water. And then now our last step is going to be to balance. So I have 1 carbon, 1 carbon. I have 3 plus 1, which is 4 hydrogens. So I'm going to try a 2 over here to make it 4 hydrogens. And then for oxygens, I have 2 plus 2, which is 4. And on the left side, I have 2 and 1, which is 3. So now in this scenario, do you see how I have an odd number on the left side and an even number of oxygens on the right side? I'm going to try to change my odd number to an even number. And this single oxygen is the problem. So I'm going to put a 2 here. So now I have 2 plus 2, which is 4 oxygens. Okay. So now I'm going to go back and rebalance all of my other molecules or elements. So I have 2 carbons. So now I'm going to add a 2 there. Okay, so 2 carbons. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus this 2 distributes, so 2 more. So 6 plus 2 is 8. So now I'm going to erase, and 4 times 2 is 8. And then for oxygens, I still have 2 and 2 is 4. And on this side, I have 2 and 2 is 4, plus 4 more is 8. Okay. So I have 8 total on this side. So this side needs to get to 8. I have 2 here. So I need to get to 6. So I'm going to add a 3 on this side.